Okay, good morning, everyone. Yes, now here, so in the last class, I said about its HTML history, right? Okay, and after that, I said about browser architecture, and I said what browser consists of and what browser will do it. I said what is a browser UI and what is a persistency, and I said about networking and browser engine and render engine and JavaScript engine, right? So these are the things what we have seen in the last class. Now let us move into, yes. And I said no, every week, Sunday you'll have assessment. So yesterday I uploaded one simple questions. I think you have answered. Yes. So every week you'll have an assessment. Whatever you learn this week, that assessment will be there on Sunday, right? So sometimes it can be a programmatic questions. Sometimes it is multiple choice. Okay, that is to improve your knowledge and recap whatever you learn in 1 week, right? So yesterday I've just given introduction on web, and I said on HTML some questions I've given, right? That is on history of HTML, because we have not started HTML. Okay, so let us move into HTML now. Now this is my Telegram. Those who are new, so this notes and all the things will be there in my Telegram. This is my Telegram. Okay, so you can join this Telegram. Okay, so let us move into HTML. Let us move into HTML. So why you are learning HTML? Tell me why you are learning HTML for creating web pages, right? Why you are learning HTML for creating web page? I said HTML. I said already HTML is a markup. HTML is a markup language. So HTML is used. HTML is used for presenting. Okay, presentation of data. Presentation. Okay, presentation of data, and providing what UI. UI for UI for what? Client. UI for client, or what is it? End user. UI for client or end user. That is what is the purpose of HTML is. So HTML is a markup language, and HTML is used for presentation of data and providing user interface for client or what? End user. So it provides a user interface. Okay, it provides a user interface. It provides a user interface for accessing. It provides the user interface for accessing what? It provides a user interface for accessing web resources. Web resources. Okay, for example, in the last class we created website. Are we created website or not? What is a yes or no? We created one website. What is that website we created? Flipkart. We created one website, that is Flipkart, right? Now this is my website. So what is the name of the website? Flipkart here. Okay, this is a website which I created. For this website, I want to create a interface. I just click on go live. So once you click on go live, now this is my website. For this website, any interface is there? No. So how can I provide the interface for my website? By using one language. What is that language? HTML. Okay. HTML is a language, right? So HTML is used for presentation of data and providing user interface for client or end user, and it provides the user interface for accessing what? Web resources. Web resources. And you can say HTML is used. HTML is used for creating what here? Web pages. HTML is used for creating web pages, right? Okay. Then next, now whenever you are saying it is a language, right? See, whenever you learn any language, for example, you learn C language or C++ or Java or any programming language. Okay, first you start with what? Any language, first you start with what? You start with one topic, right? What is the topic? You start with what do you start with? Tokens. You start with the tokens, right? So what is a token? A token is nothing but a smallest individual unit within the program. Okay, where you'll say keywords. Keywords are called as which one? Tokens. Like suppose if you are in Python, suppose if you are a Python, you'll be using the keyword called what is it? While, if, okay, okay, while, if, else, all these are what? Keywords belongs to which language? Python. Suppose if it is a Java, in Java also you find keywords. Like there is a keyword like a class, you find a keyword called which one? Interface. So these are the keywords belongs to which language? Java. In the same way, HTML is also what? Language. And this language also provides some tokens. This language also provides some tokens. And these tokens are called what? Tags. These tokens are called what here? Tags. So HTML provides what here? Tokens. And these tokens, and these tokens are called, and these tokens are called which one? Tags. And every tag represent one element. Every tag represent one element. Now this both are both are used interchangeably. Some people say tags, some people say what? Elements. Some people say tags and some people says what? Elements. And some people says what here? Tokens. Okay, so all these are one and the same because every tag is converted into what? Element. Every tag is converted into what? Element. So HTML provides tokens and these tokens are called tags. And each tag, each tag represents, each tag represents one element. So our each tag is converted into what? Element. So this both the names are used interchangeably. Some people says tag, some people says what? Elements. So these both are same and these are called which one? Tokens. So HTML provides the tokens and these are called tags and each tag represents one elements. So what is the main purpose of HTML is representing what here? Elements, representing elements. And you are representing these elements by using which one? Tag. So generally what will happen is, okay, generally what will happen is whenever you are talking about, okay, whenever you are talking about any programming language, okay, either it is C or, okay, or C++, is it computer understands C++? No. Computer understand which language? Binary language. You'll say it is a binary language. Binary language. Then who convert this high level language code to binary language? Translators. Okay, you have a translators. So called which one? Compiler. You have a translator called a compiler. So this compiler translate the code what you write in C++ into which language? Binary language. In the same way, HTML is also language or not? Yes. HTML is also language. Okay, it is a markup language. HTML is also language, but it is a markup language. So what will happen? Whatever you marked, okay, whatever you marked, see, this is what your HTML is. Assume that this is your HTML page. Okay, so this is written using which language? Markup. So this is markup language. This is markup language, and this markup language is translated. This markup language is translated into what? Zeros and ones. This markup language is translated into zeros and ones. Okay. So that is in which language here? Binary language. But who is doing this conversion? Translator. Where is the translator? Where is the translator? Tell me, where is the translator? Or where is the translator? Where is the translator? Where you run the HTML within the browser? So where is the translator in browser? Browser is having a browser engine. Yes or no? Browser is having a browser engine. So markup language is translated into what? Binary code. And within the browser, is it display the binary code? No. Within the browser, it doesn't display the binary code. So this binary code is translated into what? This binary code is translated into what? It is translated into, what do you call it as? It is translated into which one? Tags. This binary code is translated into what? Tags. Tags. This binary code is translated into a tag. But who's doing all this translation? By the browser. And this tag is translated into, okay, this tag is translated into what here? Tokens. This tag is translated into a token. Okay, token. It is translated into a token. And this token is translated in, this is a process which is done by whom? Browser. This token is translated into what? This token is translated into an element. This token is translated into what here? Elements. And using these elements, it will create one hierarchy. It will create one hierarchy. And that hierarchy is called as which one? DOM. That hierarchy is called as which one? DOM. So DOM is nothing but document object model. Okay, this DOM is converted into what? Layout. So it will present in a, it will organize in a specific format, and that you call it as which one? Layout. That is called as a layout. And this layout is printed in the browser. And that is nothing but which process? Paint. That process is called as which one? Paint. So this is what will happen whenever you run a HTML page within the browser. So your markup language is converted into which code? Binary code. And this binary is converted into tag. And this tag is converted into a token. And token is nothing but the smallest units. It is split into a smallest units. And then convert this token into what? Elements. And these elements prepare what? DOM. And this DOM create one layout. And this layout is painted within the browser. This is a process which is done by whom? Browser engine. And browser engine is a part of which one? Browser. Because HTML is executed at client side or server side? Client side. Client side. It is executed within the browser. HTML is executed within the browser. So to run HTML, what you require? Browser. You don't require any other software. You require only browser. So HTML is understood by the browser. It means don't think that only browser understand only HTML. Browser understands so many languages. Within the browser, you have a CSS translator. Within the browser, you have a JavaScript translator. Within the browser, you have image. Even it can able to display the images, audio, video, everything can be done within what? Browser. But generally target of HTML is what? Browser. Browser. For example, assume that here I am writing. Where you write an HTML. Where you write an HTML page. Where you write an HTML in public or in the root folder or in the source, where you write it? Public. All the static resources will be in what? Public. Within the public. So what is my startup? Every project, what is a startup? Index. I'm writing index.html. Index.html. Now what I'm doing is I'm just writing one tag. What is the name of the tag? Bold. Okay, this is one simple tag. And where I'm saying hello. So hello. I just written what here? Hello. Right? So it means this text is displayed in what? Bold. This text is displayed in the bold. Now this is what? Tag. And every tag is given within less than and greater than. So this is called as a token or not? Yes. So this is also called a token, or this is same thing is called as a keyword. You can see the B element. What is saying? Is it B is an element or tag? Technically you call it as what? Element. But people say it is what? Tag. Because every tag must represent as what? Element. Every tag is represented as a element. No problem. If you say tag also, nothing will happen. If you say tag also, nothing will happen, right? Okay, suppose I try to open this. You can say open with what? Live server. Open with the live server. Now you can see what is the message? Hello. The message is hello. Just click on this and go to inspect. If we say inspect here, you can see the source. You can see the source of this. So what is the source if we take? Now it is HTML and there is a head and there is what here? Body. But what it is treated as here? Is it showed anything called a tag or only elements? Elements. Because every tag is what? Every tag is what here? Element. Every tag has to be converted into what? Elements. You have to remember this. Okay. Every tag has to be converted into elements. Okay. Yeah, this is a process of it. For example, what is my suppose markup? Suppose the tag is okay, tag is like this. B, what is my tag? B and then what? Hello. B and hello. So there is a beginning and there is what? End. So this is divided into what? Tokens. Tokens is nothing but splitting into a smallest individual units. It will split this into a smallest individual units for checking the syntax or not. Yes. So you find less than and you find B, you find what? Greater than, and you find a text called which one? Hello. So it will try to split this into a smallest individual units. And again there is a slash and again there is a B and there is again greater than. So it is trying to split. Tokens are nothing but splitting it. It will try to split all this into what? Individual units, and that you call it as which one? Tokens. And these tokens, after dividing into tokens, it is converted into what? Elements. And these elements are organized. It is organized in the form of one hierarchy, and that hierarchy is called what? DOM. That hierarchy is called as what? DOM. DOM is nothing but document object model. It is very important if you are learning JavaScript. How JavaScript communicate with a web page? By using one hierarchy. By using one hierarchy, and what is it? Hierarchy is called DOM, which is called document object model. And using this document object model, one layout is created and this layout is painted within the browser. So this is a process. This is a process of executing which page? HTML page. Okay. So markup language is converted into what? Binary code. And this binary again converted into what? Tag. And these tags are divided into tokens. And this token is converted into elements. And these elements are organized in one hierarchy. What is that hierarchy? DOM. And using this DOM, it creates one layout. And this layout is what? Painted within the browser. That is displaying within the browser. This is done by whom? All right, this is done by whom? Browser engine. This is done by whom? Browser engine. And browser engine consists of HTML parser and one more is a HTML parser and one more is a CSS parser. HTML translator and one more is which translator? CSS translator. Okay. So now just see here. What I said, HTML is a markup language and HTML is used for presentation of data and providing user interface for client or end user. It provides a user interface for accessing web resources. Okay. HTML is used for creating web pages. Okay. And HTML provides a tokens for presenting this data. HTML provides the tokens for presenting data, or HTML provides the tokens for developing what? User interface. And these tokens are called which one? Tags. And each tag represents as one element. So either you say tag or element, both are what here? Same. Okay, clear up to this, all of you? Okay, then HTML elements. Okay, HTML elements. HTML elements are classified. HTML elements are classified into five groups. Now you should know this. Okay, HTML elements means HTML tags. HTML tags are classified into how many groups? Five groups. So the first one is called as a normal elements. First one is called normal elements. Normal elements. And second one is called as a empty elements. Okay, first one is called as a, yes, online students. Okay, right. Online students. Okay, no problem. So normal elements. So why we have to convert into a DOM is, I said no, DOM is used for a JavaScript communicate with what HTML page. I mean, dynamically you want to do some changes. For example, I want to change a header dynamically. Then how JavaScript communicate with the web page? So using one object, using hierarchy of objects. This is created by browser, and that object hierarchy is called which one? DOM. That is nothing but document object model. So where it organizes all the elements in the form of hierarchy. It will organize all the elements in the form of hierarchy so that JavaScript can use this DOM to manipulate what web page during runtime. Suppose using JavaScript, I want to change the title. Using JavaScript, I want to change the background color. Then how can I do this? How JavaScript communicate with the HTML page? By using one mediator. What is that mediator? DOM. Okay, you call it a DOM API. That is application programming interface. It works as an interface between JavaScript and your web page. It works interface between JavaScript and your web page. That is actually the use of DOM. Okay. So what is the meaning of this is just to see it. Okay, in elaborate, if you want to elaborate, for every web page, okay, web page, all the elements will be organized in the form of one hierarchy. Okay, suppose how your web page is referred by JavaScript, how your web page is referred by JavaScript by using one object. What is the name of the object? Document. Document. It means it is organizing all the elements of your web page in the form of one hierarchy. So what is your document refers to which page? Web page. And inside the document, what do you have? Inside the document, what you have? Okay, inside the document, you have so many elements or not? Yes. And all these elements will be organized in the form of what? Hierarchy. Now, this hierarchy organizing of all the elements is called as which object? DOM object. It is called as which object? DOM object. It is called as document object model. Getting on. So, using this DOM, your JavaScript communicate with what? HTML. If JavaScript want to communicate with the web page, it uses one object called which one? Document. So this is very important if you are moving to JavaScript. Okay. So you have to attend the classes regularly. If you want to understand every technology, like some people HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So one is linked with another. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So here JavaScript uses HTML as well as what? CSS. Bootstrap uses CSS. CSS uses HTML. You cannot learn this individually. You cannot learn this what? Individually. Okay. So there is a normal elements and there is one more element called RC data elements. RC data elements. And second one is rich. Okay, rich text elements. Rich text elements. Okay, rich text elements. And the last one is called as a foreign elements. Okay, you call this as a foreign. Okay, these are called foreign elements. Now, these are the classification of HTML elements. Elements are nothing but what? Tags. Okay. So HTML elements are classified. HTML elements are classified into how many categories? 5 categories. What is the first one? Normal elements. What is the second one? Empty elements. Next one is a RC elements, or this you can call it as rich or raw text elements. Raw text elements. You can call it as rich or you can call it as raw text elements. And second one is what? Foreign elements. Foreign elements. Okay. So, but what is a normal? See, this classification is according to what? What WG? This classification is according to what? What WG? And what WG is a community or not? Yes, who developed HTML language and who's maintaining HTML language. Who's developed HTML and maintaining HTML? What WG? Now, what is the current version of HTML? 5.0. 5.0. Previous version is 4.0. When 5.0 is introduced in 2014, but still it is used or not? Yes, still it is using by the companies, but most of the companies, they are still in what? 4.0, right? So first one is normal elements. So normal elements. First you understand the terminology. First try to understand the terminology. So what is this normal elements? What is the normal elements here? Generally, this normal elements, yes, elements are nothing but tags only. I'm saying no. People will say tags. Tags and elements can be used interchangeably, right? You can call it as tag or you can call it as what? Element. Because every tag has to be converted into element. Okay? Understood? What do you say here? You want me to write tag element? Element. According to what WG, it is called as what? Element. Every tag is called as an element only. Okay, na? Anything you can write it. Okay. Yes. Can you please explain, repeat DOM? DOM now not required. But anyway, see, document object model. Okay, now this is, what is this is web page. This is web page, right? Assume that this is a page which is having all the, what do you call it as? Tags. It is having a tags or tokens or what elements. Okay, body is there. Okay, and like this, don't think about code. I'll explain later what is the structure of HTML and how to write a web page, what are the rules, all the things I'll tell you, but just try to understand what are these elements are. Okay, now this is what here? HTML. Okay, this is HTML. This is HTML. Okay, and these are having so many tags or not? Yes. I want this tags to be manipulated during runtime. I want this tags to be manipulated during what? Runtime. Runtime means I want to change body color. I want to change the body color. Then how can I change the body color during runtime? During runtime means after display. After displaying means is it static or dynamic? Dynamic. Then how you do that dynamically? By using JavaScript. That is done by using what? JavaScript. That is done by using JavaScript, right? Then how JavaScript communicate with the body? How JavaScript communicate with the body, or how JavaScript communicate with the head? How JavaScript communicate with your document? So all this, yes, very good. Yes, yes. So all these elements are organized in the form of what? Hierarchy. All these elements are organized in the form of what? Hierarchy. And what is a hierarchy is called DOM. Document object model. That hierarchy is called DOM. So in this what you have, every element is represented as one object. Every element is represented as one object. So what is the name of this document? So document refers to your web page or not? Yes. Within this web page, what you have? You have which one? Head. You have which one? Body. Now, if JavaScript want to communicate with which element? All right. If JavaScript want to communicate with which element? Body. It uses what? It simply says document dot. What is this? Document dot is for accessing. From document, this document is which document? HTML document. And from this document, you are accessing which element? Body. Now, can you manipulate the things during runtime or not? Yes. But how you are manipulating it? How you are manipulating it? You are manipulating it by using one object. What is that object? DOM. Getting on? So you are writing HTML to target which one? Or you are writing HTML elements to target which one? DOM only. Getting on? This is very important if you are working with JavaScript, Angular, Node, React, anything. If you see, these are frameworks of what? JavaScript. And if you want to manipulate the page during runtime, definitely you must have an idea of which one? DOM. So we'll discuss that in detail. But once we move to JavaScript, but just try to understand what is a DOM is, What is a DOM is? Document object model. It is hierarchy of what? HTML elements. It is hierarchy of what? HTML elements. Is it clear? Somebody's asked this. Who is this? Yes? Is it clear or not? Who is this here? Somebody's asked who is this? Rajeshri. Okay. Okay. Right. Right. Now, what is this normal element? What is a normal element? Is normal means an element, normal element means an element which present data without using what? Any attributes. Any, what is this here? Attributes. An element which present data without using any attributes. That you call it as which element? Normal element. Normal element. And this normal, this element required, what is that? End token. This element required what? End token. It means this element required, I'll say begin token means beginning of the tag, begin token or begin element, and what? End element, end token or end element, token, tag, element, all these are what? Same. Token, 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 tag, element, all these are what? Same. I'll write like this, tag, then what? Element. Okay, no problem, right? So whichever you are comfortable, you remember that. Okay, na? So this element required a begin token. This element requires a begins token and what? End token element. Okay. So if you don't end it, what is the attribute? I'll discuss. What is the attribute? I'll discuss. Okay. But this element required a begin token and what? End token. Example is, for example, see here. For example, now this is my index.html. I'm saying this is, okay, this is my, okay, this is my first, what is this? HTML. This is my first HTML class. This is my first HTML class. Okay, now this is the content of this page. Is it, this is a plain text or not? Yes. But I want this HTML should be in what? Bold. Then I'm using one tag. What is the tag I used? B. So what is B is called here? Bold. I want to make this HTML as what? Bold. So B, bold is begin with what? B. Bold is begin with a B, and after B, it will continue. It will continue up to what? It will continue up to what? It will continue up to what? End. It will continue up to what? End. If I'm not closing it, it will continue up to what? End. Is it any end tag is there or not there? Not there. I'm saying this, I want to make only HTML as a bold, but not a class. If I don't close it, what will happen? This B is a beginning and it continues till what? End of the page. Yes or no? So what will happen here? Suppose if I run this, okay, save this HTML. Okay, just go to your browser or open in the browser, click right mouse button and say open with what? Live server. You can see this is my first HTML class. HTML is bold and class is also what? Bold. So when you open the bold, it must be closed or not? Yes. Okay, it must be closed. If you don't close it, what will happen? Continue. If you don't close it, what will happen? It will continue. Now, is it HTML begin and end is closed or not? Yes. Only which one is bold? HTML. Now, this kind of elements are called which elements? Normal elements. Here, there is a beginning and there is what? Ending. And these elements doesn't require any attributes. It doesn't use any attributes. Attributes will define what? Properties. Attributes define the behavior. Behavior of the tag is defined by what? Attributes. Behavior of the tag is defined by what? Attributes. For example, if you write any attribute, For example, there is an attribute called what? Body. So body, now there is an attribute. What is that attribute? Background. Body, now what is the attribute? Background. I want to put some image at the background. Then I'm using one attribute. What is the name of that background? So what is the background here? Attribute. It is an attribute which defines the behavior of what? Body. But when it comes to the normal elements, this normal elements doesn't have any, or this normal elements doesn't have any attributes. This normal elements doesn't have any attributes. Okay, na? So that is what is the meaning of this. Okay, so an element which represent data without using any attributes. This element required a begins token and what? End token or element. That you call it as a normal elements. Like example is what here? B, bold. Okay, bold. So there is a begin, bold, there is a begin, and there is what here? End, like this. If you don't close it, then what will happen? It will continues. If you don't close it, what will happen? It will continue till closed. Okay, suppose if I'm writing HTML stands for HTML stands for what I'm saying, hypertext markup language. HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, like this I have written. Okay, now you have a normal element. What is it? Normal element? I means what? Italic. I means what here? Italic. But I begin, but I'm not. Is it end or not end? Not end. If it is not end, what will happen? Continue. If not end, what will happen? Continue. Just open with the live server. Now it is continued. But I want only hypertext to be what? Italic. Then what will I do? Hypertext. Here it is begin, and here I have to what? Close it. And this is the beginning of the tag, and this is what? End of the tag. So this kind of elements or this kind of tags, you call it as which tags? Normal tags. These are called normal tags. Is it clear? What do you say here? Then there is one more element stored there. What is it? Another elements is empty elements. Okay, you find different types of elements. Second one is called as empty elements. What is this empty elements? Now empty elements, when you're saying empty, right? See, normal elements return some value. Normal elements return the value. Normal elements return written values. So you can call it as empty elements, or same thing you call it as what? Void elements. Empty elements or what? Void elements. Both are same. Empty elements or void elements. This both are same. I'll explain. This tags I'll explain. I'm just telling you classification of tags. Some tags you open it, but you don't. Some tags you open it and you must close. That elements are called normal elements. Okay. So where you should open and you should close. So that is called as normal elements or normal tags. Okay. Now, second one is you have a void elements. So normal elements written what? Value. Now you are using one term called void. Void means it doesn't return anything. It doesn't return what? Anything. Void elements means it doesn't return what? Anything. Suppose if it is a bold, suppose I write a B and I end with what? B. What it is doing? It is returning some value or not? Yes, it is returning value in what? Bold. But void elements doesn't return anything. Void means don't return. Yes or no? It doesn't return any element, return null. It doesn't return any null, but it requires some attributes. It requires some attributes to return values. So empty elements are void elements. Void elements required. Okay, required what here? Attributes. To present. Okay, to present. Required attributes to present data. Online students, can you able to hear my voice, right? Online students. Audio. So void elements required attributes to present what? Data. To present data, but it doesn't return any, it doesn't return, sorry, it doesn't return any what here? Value or what? Data. So what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? For example, see here. For example, okay, for example, I take one tag. Now this void elements, okay, void elements doesn't have which tag? End tag. End tag or end tag or what? End token. You don't have any end tag or what? End token. Void elements doesn't have end tag or end token, right? See here. Example is, for example, there is one tag. What is the name of that? Image is there. Image tag is there. Image tag. Okay, image tag required one attribute. What image tag required one attribute for representing what? Image. For representing image, it required one attribute. What is the name of the attribute? SRC. SRC, and you have to define the path. So where is your images? Where is your images? Your image is there in which folder? Public. Images will be there in which folder? Public folder, right? In the public folder, what do you have? In the public folder, what do you have? Images. So I'm writing a public slash, what is this? Images. And in images, is it any images there? No. I just take one image. We'll just insert one simple image. Search for any image. Okay. Any image you search. Okay. So some image, what is it image is? Some HTML image I'll take. Okay. So this is one image. Okay. Save image as a, okay. So just now what is the extension is given? PNG, right? So where you are saving this image in your UI and Flipkart public images, and what is the image name? HTML dot, what is the extension? PNG. Okay. Now what I'm saying images, is it there? Just here. Is it there or not there? There. Okay, just give the path. So what is the path I'm giving? Path location I have to give. Where is this in images? Directly you can give images HTML dot PNG. I close it. But are you written any ending tag here? No. So it is only having a beginning, but doesn't have which one? Ending. It doesn't have an ending, but it required to represent data by using some attributes. And is it returning any value? Is it returning any value? No, this is returning value, right? Which value it is returning? Bold. It is returning which value? Italic. But this is returning any value? No, you are not giving any input, right? Okay, it just insert what? Image. It just insert the image. Now open with the live server. If you open with the live server, can you see the image or not? Yes. Getting on or not? So this tags you call it as, which tags? Void tags, which doesn't have which one? Ending tag. But you define the properties by using some attributes. Attributes will define the behavior of what? Element. Attribute define the behavior of what? Element. Suppose, assume that example, I'm just telling you, but all this I'll repeat again. Don't think about what is image, what is bold, what is italic. I'll tell you all this, but I'm just telling you which tag is for what. Okay, suppose I want to define the width. Why exactly the image came in the middle? No, not in the middle. I'm typing it continuously, right? So what is the first one? This is my HTML stands for. Then next is what? Image in one line only. I'm not given any break here. So I use one attribute called width. I just given the width is some 200 pixels. And I'm trying to define the height is some what? 200 pixels, right? Okay, then what will happen? The image is displayed with the what? Width and height of what? 200 and 200. If you want decrease it, then you decrease it by just giving what is the width? 100. What is the height I've given? 100. What is the measurements? We'll discuss. Don't worry. Okay, so don't worry about what I'm writing in. Don't think about code. Okay, try to understand which element is called as a what. Which element is called as a what. Example is, what is the name of this example? Image. I've just taken the example as a image. Image is called which element? Void element, right? So next element is there. What is the next element? RC data element. RC data element. RC data elements. So what is this RC data elements? Okay. What is this RC data element is? For example, okay, for example, while working with HTML, you may write an element inside what? Element. You may write an element inside what? Element, right? One element means one tag you'll write inside what? Another tag. For example, assume that this is one paragraph. What is this here? Paragraph. Paragraph is which element now? Tell me, paragraph is which element? Huh? Which element? Paragraph is which element? Normal element, right? How can you say it is normal element? Beginning is there, end is there. Some students they complete HTML, they don't know. Is a normal element a void element? I should write a begin, I should write end. They don't know, but they'll write it. But it's not a proper, right? Okay, so P is a beginning, right? P stands for paragraph. Okay, na? And there is end of the paragraph or not? Yes, that is the beginning of the tag, and this is what end of the tag. Then it is which element? Normal element. And inside this, I'm writing this is okay. This is what here? HTML. I'm writing this is HTML. Okay, like this HTML. It means I write. I'm writing a tag inside what? Tag. I'm writing a tag inside what? Tag. And writing a tag inside a tag is called nested or not? Yes. You are formatting again. Inside the tag again, you are formatting it by using which one? Bold. Getting on? It means is a P. P is called as a RC data element? No. P is not called as which element? RC data element. RC data element doesn't allow what? Nested. It doesn't allow what? Nested means you cannot format it. Inside the tag, you cannot use what? Another tag. If you are using a tag inside another tag, then it doesn't treat those are what? Tags are elements. Those are treated as what? Text. For example, see here. For example, see here. Example, suppose, okay, I'm writing, this is a paragraph. This is what here? Paragraph. Paragraph, right? So I'm just writing, this is, okay, this is HTML, sorry. This is HTML. HTML what? Document. Okay, HTML document. And here I said bold. This is a bold. And this is also what here? Bold. Okay, this is a bold. Beginning of the bold and end of the bold. So inside the paragraph, I try to use another element or not? Yes. Just open this. Now you can see paragraph. Inside this bold is done or not? Yes, because this is one paragraph. And inside the paragraph, I'm using another tag. What is the tag I'm using? Bold. For example, same thing I represent it as what? Text area. There is one more is there. I can define the paragraph even by using which one? Text area. Now, inside this text area, I'm writing the same content. I'm writing the same content within what? Text area. What will happen? So what will happen? What will happen if I open with this? Now, this is formatted? What is displayed here? This is what here? HTML document. But is it HTML is bold or displayed as a text? Displayed as a text. It means inside this element, is it other elements are allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Inside the elements, other elements are allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. That elements you call it as what? RC data elements. So it means you cannot have a nested. You cannot have what here? Nested. Nested elements are not allowed. That kind of elements. That kind of elements. That kind of elements you call it as which elements? RC elements. What is the problem here? You know where you save the project, right? You know where you save the project. What you do is, I cannot understand how to open folder inside the public folder in VS Code. How to create a folder you don't know. Go to file. What is the option you have open? Folder. If folder is not there, create it. Already I created one folder. What is my project? Flipkart. My website is what? Flipkart. You want to create your own website? Now click on new folder. You want which one? Amazon. Okay, Amazon. I'm creating one more folder. What is the name of this? Amazon. So how many projects are there? Two projects. Amazon is one project. Flipkart is another. Inside Amazon, create how many folders? How many folders? Two folders. What is the first one? Public. What is the second one? SRC. Public folder contain all static resources or not? Yes. HTML, CSS, images, audio, video, all these are in what? Public. And JavaScript, CSS, even you put in what? SRC. This is how you create it. Already I said in the last class. Okay, na? I said in the last class and I said you to practice. I don't know whether you are installed or not. Whether you are installed or not. Okay. I don't know whether you are installed or not. Okay. Yes, please try to understand. What is his name? Pup. What is his name here? Poplin. Poplin. Yes. Right. Okay. Generally RC data elements are called, generally these are called rich text data elements. Okay. Text data elements. Okay. And these elements are used to represent what here? Plain. So plain what here? Text. Okay, numbers and other content. Numbers and what? Other content. So RC data elements or tags. RC data elements or tag doesn't allow us what? Doesn't allow us what? Nested tags. Nested tags are what here? Elements. Instead that you cannot use another element, right? This is a Flipkart folder. See here, this is Flipkart. Inside this, how many folders are there? Two folders. Public and one more is what? SRC. इसलिए बोलते हैं प्रैक्टिस करो बोल के. प्रैक्टिस नहीं करते कुछ नहीं करते आ जाते क्लास में. How here? And you want the job with high package, not with not for 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs, you don't work. You want 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. And you want the job after completing HTML only. You don't learn CSS, JavaScript, anything. Your thinking is very high, but good. But if you have that much knowledge, if you don't have that much knowledge and if you're thinking high, no use. Okay, na? Understood? So allows RC data elements tag doesn't allow nested tags are what? Elements. Okay. Example is what here? Text. I just taken one tag. What is the name of this? Text area. Like this, you find some tags, but I've just taken one example, right? So all these tags you learn. All these tags you learn. Okay, na? Then next raw text elements. Next, what you have is a raw text elements. Raw text elements. So what is this raw text elements? Generally, if you want to present anything in rich, I already written here. RC data elements are called rich text data elements. RC data, rich content or rich text data elements. These elements are used to represent plain text, numbers and other content. And RC data elements are tag doesn't allow nested tags or elements. Okay. Yes. Array. This is an example here. Now here, paragraph is which element? Normal element. And text area also which element? Normal element. And inside this, I have written one line or not? Yes. And inside this, I used what? Bold. Okay, bold. Inside the paragraph, I use one more element, right? One more element or one more tag. Which tag I used? Bold. So inside this paragraph, can I use bold or not? Yes. But inside the text area, can I use bold? No. Why? Paragraph is a normal element, but text area is not a normal element. It is which element? RC data element. It is just to use represent which text? Plain text. Plain text without formatting. Only for plain text without formatting. Without formatting, you are trying to represent what? Text. That you call it as which element? RC data element. Is it clear? Okay. Feedback box. Yes, yes. Our website. Yes. Very good, Aditya. Okay. A raw text element is there. Raw text elements. What is a raw text elements is, now generally people will think that anything you want to present in anything you want to present in what HTML, you have to present using tags. But now without using a tags also you can do some presentation. Without using a tags also you do what? Presentation. Okay. How you do the presentation without using a tags? By using which one? Raw text elements. By using what here? Raw text elements. Okay. For example, in website you find copyright symbol. In website you find which symbol? Trademark symbol. Okay. You find a copyright symbol. You find what? Trademark symbol. Now these are the symbols which are used. These are the symbols which are used. Okay, by writing any tag? No. I simply use what here? Ampersand. For example, if I'm writing ampersand, which one? Copy. See here. Ampersand copy. Is it this is a tag? Is it this is a tag? No. So when you're saying it is a tag, tag must have within the angular brace, less than and greater than or not? Yes. But it is having any less than and greater than? No. I just use ampersand copy. If I say ampersand copy, this represent which symbol? Or this represent which symbol? Copyright symbol. This represent which symbol? Copyright symbol. You have a lot of things. Suppose if you are writing ampersand, just put ampersand. It will show you a lot of things. See here, all these are shown or not? Yes, all these are okay. All these are which characters? All these are which characters? RC. Which text it is? Raw text. Raw text. It means you are not using any. You are not using any tag. You are not using any tag to present what this data. So that elements you call it as a raw text elements. For example, assume that you are writing. So amount is I'm just writing 45,000. I write amount is 45,000. 45,000. Now once you run this, you can see amount is what? 45,000. But before amount, I want which symbol? Rupees symbol. I want rupees symbol before 45. Then what will I do? What will I do? I'll just use ampersand. Okay, what is it? You have a code for this. Some 837 and 7. Suppose if I'm using hash 8377, okay, what will happen? It's just treated as a normal text. It is just treated as what here? Normal text. It is a normal text, right? It is a normal text. But I want to present this as which text? Raw text. I want to present this as which text? Raw text. Then I'm using what here? Ampersand. So once I use ampersand, now it is a symbol is changed or not? Yes. Symbol is changed to which symbol? Rupees symbol. Symbol is which symbol? Rupees symbol. Now this is called which text? Raw text. So raw text, okay, raw text, whenever you're talking about raw text, right? So raw text elements. Okay. So raw text elements are presented Okay, raw text elements are presented using what I'm saying here, raw text. It doesn't required, it doesn't, it doesn't required, it doesn't required any, it doesn't require any tags. It doesn't require any tags to present this data. To present this data, you don't require any tags, right? For example, you want a space, for example, between amount and is, you want some space. If I give space like this, what will happen? Amount space is, if I run this amount space is, you'll get, see here. Is it amount space is there or not there? Not there. You cannot give a space. You cannot give a space. If I'm giving a space like this, right? Okay, is it given in the web page amount and is between you have any space? No, you don't have any space because now browser cannot understand. See here. Now if I refresh it, is it any space between amount and is? No. Then how can I represent space? You use raw text. What is that raw text here? NB, NB, SP. What is NB, SP stands for? Non-breakable space. So this will give one space. Okay, this will give one space. I'm writing NBSP, 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 NBSP. So how many spaces are given? How many spaces I have given? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is a, now when you run this, if you run this, now you can find the space between amount and what is. Amount and what is. Now this text you call it as which one? Raw text elements. So these are not represented with what? Tags. Example. Example is, now you can take this as a example for raw text. Like I said, copyright and all the things, right? What do you say here? Are you getting or not? All of you? So HTML elements are classified into how many groups? 5 groups. What is the first one? Normal elements. Second one is void elements. Empty or void elements. I should not say empty, but I should say void. Third is RC data elements. Next is raw text elements. Next is foreign element. What is normal element? An element which is present data without using any attributes. Attributes will not be there. Okay, na? And this is having beginning tag and ending tag. Okay, next is what? Void element. Void element doesn't have what? End tag. And it present the data using attributes. It present the data using attributes. RC data elements, RC means rich text data. And these elements cannot be nested. Okay, inside this you cannot write what? Another element to format. Okay, if you are writing it, it is treated as which text? Plain text, but it doesn't allow what? Formatting. Inside that element, no formatting is allowed. That is called as which element? RC data elements. What is a raw text element? Is a text which is presented without using any tags. So that elements you call it as which one? Raw text element. Next, what you have? Foreign elements. Remember this, all of you, please. Remember this. Okay. So what is the next one? Foreign. Foreign बोले तो foreign. कब जाते आप foreign जाते ना जाते? You'll go to foreign, right? Foreign means other than this country, right? Yes or no? My friend went to foreign. Foreign means some other country. So your foreign elements means these elements are not available by default in what? HTML. These elements are not available in HTML, right? These elements by default not available in HTML. These are available in what? Some libraries. What do you have to do? Import. Import. It is available somewhere, right? You need to import. It is not a part of which one? HTML. Okay, such kind of elements, you call it as which elements? Foreign elements. Okay, so these elements are not comes by default, not comes by default, default with what? HTML. These elements are available. These elements are available in what? In library. These elements are available in what? Library. So library must be imported. So library must be what? Imported in order to use. Right? Now these elements, you call it as a foreign elements. Okay. So you learn detail on this. you find one element called which one? Canvas. Okay, you find example is like what? Canvas. One example I've taken. What is the name of that? Canvas. So this is not a part of which one? HTML. It is available in one library. HTML library. You have to import that. Okay, na? Yes. Understood? Okay, these are called which elements? Foreign elements. You understood all this classification 5? Tell me here, what is the first one? Normal. Second is void. Third one is RC data. Fourth is yes. Fifth one is foreign elements. So every element is one tag which is used to present the data. Yes or no? Every element you are using to present data within the page, or every element is used to create user interface within the web page. Okay, now clear? Then next, next we'll talk about, now we'll try to create our first, which one? Web page. Okay, first web page. I delete this. Now we'll start from the creation. We'll start from the creation. I delete this. Okay, classification is clear, right? All of you? Okay, then next, I'll start with the beginning, right? So every HTML, whenever you're talking about web page, so again, I'm saying a web page, right? How to create a web page. Again, I'm talking about how to create a web page, how to write a web page. What is the structure of the web page? Okay, na? Yes. So every web page, every web page, every web page is having, every web page or HTML page is having extension, extension. What is the extension of HTML file? Dot HTML or dot HTM. What is the extension of HTML file? Dot HTML or dot HTM. Okay, but generally, HTML is also have some editors. I think, HTML is having some editors. Means without using any tags, can you create a web page? Without using a tags, can you create a web page? I don't use the tags. Let tags will be generated automatically. Okay. So without using tags, can you create a web page? Yes. By using some tools. Which tools? HTML tools. For example, Microsoft provide front page. Microsoft is having what? Front page. Front page is used for developing what? Web pages. And even you can also use MS Word, right? Suppose you have a MS Word. Microsoft Word is there. Okay, now here also I can say, so welcome to, now I'm just writing a document. This is called HTML document or Word document? Tell me here, is it HTML document or Word document? Word document. It's a Word document. Welcome to what? HTML. It is a Word document. And what is the extension for this dot docs or dot HTML? Dot doc, right? Okay, see here. I just write like this. I try to apply the color to this like this, and I try to increase the font of this. Okay, all these things I done here. Okay, after this, I just move to file. What I'm saying here, save as, file and save as. Okay, save as. Okay, now here, by default, what is a save as a type? Word. In the place of word, what I'm selecting, where is it? Web page. See here, what is this? Web page. Single file web page. Okay, single file web page. So I selected web page. What I selected? Web page. Okay, now what is the page name I'm giving is some page 1. I just given page 1, right? What is this? Page 1. Page 1 and I save it. Page 1 and what? Saved. Okay, what is the extension of this? Alright, tell me here. Is it extension of this is dot docs or dot htm? Dot htm. HTM, right? Not dot docs. It is what? HTM. Now you can see that you open your folder where you saved this in UI batch. Inside this, you have a page or not? Yes. Just to see the properties of this page. So what is the extension of this? Some MHT or what is that? HTML is given. So that is a Microsoft HTML document. But what is the default extension is given? HTM, because these tools will take extension as how many characters? 3 characters, but it cannot take what more than 3 characters. Yes or no? It takes how many characters? Only 3 characters, but doesn't take what more than 3 characters. But whatever HTML you design it, all those HTML will have extension what? Dot HTML. But by default, when you develop an HTML using any tool, that tool gives the extension as what? Dot HTM. Okay, so when HTM is used, when HTM is generated, if you are using any tool. So note is, okay, so tools can be used. Tools can be used for creating what? Web page. For creating web page. Example, if web page is created, if web page is created using what? MS Word. MS Word. This page is, okay, this page is saved. This page is saved with a dot. What is that? HTM, not HTML, but HTM. This is when if you are using the tools. But until unless you are not using a tools, what is the default extension will be? Dot HTML. So this is for your understanding. This is your understanding. Okay. The next, now creating a page. Now what is a name? Name should be given, right? Every HTML file name should be given. Is it name is a predefined or user defined? User defined. Is it name is a predefined or user defined? User defined. So where you create your web page? In a public or SRC? Where you create a web page? Public. Just go to the public. And inside the public, what do you do it? New. Inside the public, new file. So what is your startup? Startup for your project? What is the start of your project? Index.html. This is a startup, right? So whenever you open your website within the browser, it will open which page? First page. And what is that first page is called? Index. First startup page must be what? Index. And remaining pages can have any name. You keep on adding other pages and you move from which page? Index page. That is what you call it as hyperlink. Hypertext. What is hypertext? Beyond text you find so many information, but how you move it? By clicking. If you click on mobiles, you'll get which page? Mobile page. If you click on computers, you'll get which page? Computers. Behind this, lot of information is there or not? Yes. From where you are moving to that information? From first page. And what is that first page is called? Index page. What is that first page is called? Index page. Clear? I created. Then first, what first I have to write? In the HTML, first what I have to write? First what you have to write is, the first thing in HTML page is, you have to write, so define what? Document definition. Define the document definition. First thing what you have to do in HTML page is, you have to define the document definition. Document definition. Okay. So what is the meaning of document definition? For example, you develop HTML, right? You develop HTML using which version? You develop HTML using which version? HTML 4 or 5? 5. Current version is what? 5. But this HTML is executed by whom? And who execute HTML here? Browser. Remember, man. Okay, browser execute the HTML. So browser is having different parsers. Okay, because some HTML pages might be developed in 4. Some HTML pages might be in what? 5. Okay, browser engine consists of what? HTML4 parser. HTML4 parser means what here? Translator. And browser engine also have what? HTML5 parser. Means HTML5 parser means 5 engine. And it is also having which one? CSS. Getting on. So this is a part of which engine? Browser engine, right? Now, how this browser knows you have written this HTML in HTML5 or HTML4? How browser knows this page is written in HTML5 or HTML4? Now that information you provide it. That information you provide it by using what? Document definition. And this document definition is given by using one tag. By using one tag, and what is the name of the tag is doc type. What is the name of that? Doc type. And if you are writing a doc type, this is introduced from HTML5 onwards. Any HTML page having a doc type equal to what? HTML. This is treated as which version? HTML5. It is treated as which one? HTML5. Suppose you give one page to the browser. Now you don't have, suppose this is a page 1, right? This is a page 1.html. Now there is no document definition here. Okay, now there's no document definition. Then your browser engine understand this page as which page? HTML only, but which version? HTML4. It understand this HTML is developed in which version? 4. But you need to tell the browser, this page is written in what? 5. I'm using 5. Then you'll use exclamatory. And what is the name of this tag? Doc type. Okay, doc type equal doc type is what? HTML. Now this indicates what? You are trying to use which version of HTML5, and you are telling the browser you parse it by using the syntax of what? HTML5. Getting or not? Okay, that is defined by using which one? Doc type. But this doc type, what is the beginning? What is the beginning is written exclamatory, right? This is exclamatory mark. Exclamatory mark, right? This is exclamatory mark. What is this exclamatory? Not. Yes or no? In programming language, you call this as what? Not. So it means doc type is not a doc type is not an element. Doc type is not a element. It is used only to identify your document. It is used only to identify what? Document. By whom? Browser. Your browser try to identify your document is which document? Is it HTML4 or HTML5? But is it doing any other operation? No. So that's the reason it is prefixed with what here? Not. So not, this is not a tag. This is not a tag. Now you can say doc type, and what is the doc type is given? HTML. So what document definition tells? Tell me here, what document definition tells? Document definition. First statement should be this. Document definition tells. Okay, tells. Document definition tells or define. Okay, the browser tells a browser. Browser what? Which language and version is used to develop which one? Web page. Okay, now this is the first one. And this document definition, this document definition is given using using what is the name of the tag? Not what is this? Doc type. So don't think that you have to give in capital only. No, you can give any in case. So the document, I mean, if HTML page is written in which version? HTML 5.0. Doc type is what? Compulsory. Okay. Doc type is what here? Must. You must give the doc type. If you are writing in which version? HTML5. If you are writing in HTML5, this doc type is compulsory. This doc type is compulsory. Okay, is it clear this one? What do you say here? Yes or no? What is the first one you are writing? Doc type. First statement is a doc type. First statement is a doc type. Clear, right? Now, after this, so whenever you're talking about HTML, okay, otherwise, all of you up to here is clear, right? So I'll be uploading these notes in my Telegram, right? So now this is about what is that? Classification of elements, and first statement in the HTML should be what? Doc type. You can write this doc type either in lowercase or uppercase, because HTML is not a case sensitive language. It can be written, the tags can be written either in lowercase or uppercase, no problem. It is recognized by your browser. Okay, na? Right. So tomorrow I'll continue, right? Today I'll just conclude here because you don't have much time. But tomorrow I'll continue with rest of the tags. Okay, rest of the tags are elements. So don't miss the starting classes because starting classes are very important to understand the HTML, right? So today we'll stop it here and tomorrow we'll continue this. Thank you. We'll see tomorrow, right? This is my Telegram. You join this Telegram. Join this Telegram. In this, I uploaded notes. Okay. In this, I uploaded notes. Just refer this. Date gives wrong. What did I have given? 28. Today is at 29, right? Okay. I change it. See, all these are regular classes. All these are regular only. All these are regular classes. Okay. You have to add. You join it. Is a public. Telegram is a public. You can join directly. Okay. As a public, you can join directly. Already I mentioned in the Python extension, you add it. If you want to work with a Python, you add Python extension. But we are not executing Python, right? Okay. What one-to-one? I didn't get what is one-to-one. What is one-to-one interaction? You search Python, your Python extension, you'll get. Now you are not working with a Python, right? You are working with HTML. Concentrate on HTML. You do Python in ideally. Why you want to do in VS Code? So some tags you find the difference. HTML4 and HTML5. Some tags you have more. Okay, that I'll explain. You find the location where it is created. Where you have created folder, just open that. Neha, what Pratik? Live class, doubt class to ask for. You ask in between, no problem. Not required. See, browser, you can directly open in browser. Okay. Yes. It is C, Python, and Java. Yes. Okay, right? For HTML, you don't require who execute HTML browser. If you have a browser, that's enough. Okay. But don't write in Notepad++. Who said you to write in Notepad++? In real time, Notepad++ nobody will use. Okay. Okay, right? So already 4 classes are over. Now here, but HTML today only we started. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. But today HTML is started today only. HTML is started today only. Okay. Tell me what is your doubt? Sandhya, tell me what is your doubt? Mhm. You ask your admin Akhil. You ask Akhil. You ask your admin Akhil. He'll give you videos. Already it is shared in the chart. You just check. What is admin number? Admin, share your number. 0xff. Sandhya, 0xff. Okay, this is 255. 255. Divide with the 16. Okay. Now 0x hexadecimal you said, not binary, no? You said hexadecimal. You said hexadecimal, not you said hexadecimal. You don't say binary, right? So 16, how many times? Okay. Then what is the value you'll get is ff. It's nothing but 16 to the power of 0 into 15 plus 16 to the power of 1 into 15. This value is equivalent to 255. Okay. This is how the conversion is. Okay. Yeah, Prasanna. Now this is my mail ID. This is my mail ID. This is Telegram. And this is my mail ID. Okay. You can send. No problem. @Gmail. Okay. This is my mail ID. Admin, you send your details here. Admin, who's this admin? Admin, you are there or not there? Admin, put your details here. Admin is not there. He left. So tomorrow I'll tell you. Akhil, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll give you. Admin, send your details. Who's this admin? Okay. Right. So Akhil, tomorrow. Right. Thank you. So thank you everyone. We'll see tomorrow. Thank you.